All right, PXL. Now, this is gonna be a multi-part video because it's some moments where like shit got nuts. This hearing was 4 hours, 4.5 hour long. Like I ain't watched that whole shit, but I picked out some moments that I saw that was important to this video, to this live stream. So let's start with the pro-Palestine protesters. I shout out to all the pro-Palestine protesters out there, man. Still doing the damn thing, man. Like y'all real, man. Like y'all haven't stopped since October 7th. Hell, some of you started before October 7th. So y'all doing the damn thing. Um, like, yeah, I seen the first part of this in the gym when they was heckling Pete Hegseth. So yeah, I finna play this, man. Like, this shit is wild, bro. Holy shit.
Luke, Rex, sorry, it's a lot of them. Gwendolyn. Future safety and security is in our hands. And all troops and veterans watching and here in the room. Navy SEALs, Green Berets, soldiers, pilots, sailors, Marines, Gold Stars, and more. Too many friends to name. Officers, enlisted, black and white, young and old, men and all. Thank you for figuratively and literally.
Are as Christian.
You. Thank you for figuratively and literally having my back.
Now, the guy that was behind Pete Hegseth, now apparently I found out that he served in the Vietnam War, which, what they always say about the vets, right? Thank you for your service. Vietnam destroyed my uncle, like his mental health, like it literally destroyed his mental health, because, like, just a little backstory, like, because, like, my mom always told me stories about him, like, he used to be, like, shit, fucking chill, but he went to war, I guess this guy that's heckling him that you see behind the video, realized that, hey, we're not going over here to bring peace and tranquility. Like, most of our wars is to commit genocide and steal resources. I'm gonna play it.
You are a misogynist. Not only that, you are as Christian Zionists. And you support the war.
Jeez, Christian Zionists are the fucking worst, man.
It's Gaza by the Zionists.
I want to thank the authorities for their swift reaction to that outburst and state that similar interruptions will be treated in like manner. Mr. Hegseth, you may continue.
Well, as I'll say again, thank you for figuratively and literally having my back. I pledge to do the same for all of you. It's an honor to come before this committee today as President Donald Trump's nominee for the office of Secretary of Defense. 2 months ago, 77 million Americans gave President Trump a powerful mandate for change, to put America first, at home and abroad. I want to thank President Trump for his faith in me and his selfless leadership for our republic. The troops have no better commander-in-chief than Donald Trump. As I've said to many of you in private meetings, when President Trump chose me for this position, the primary charge he gave me was to bring the warrior culture back to the Department of Defense. He, like me, wants a Pentagon laser-focused on lethality, meritocracy, warfighting, accountability, and readiness.
Yeah, make these motherfuckers uncomfortable. Hell, fuck them. Shit.
You may continue, sir.
Returning the Pentagon back to warfighting, that's it. That's my job.
Mr. Hegseth, suspend your remarks. Let me just say this.
I know this motherfucker. He's the senator of Mississippi, Roger Wicker. Fuck you.
The Capitol Police are going to remove immediately individuals that are disrupting the hearing. I see a pattern attempted to be inflicted on the committee, and we're simply not going to tolerate that.
Yeah, like they're gonna listen to your old gray ass motherfucker.
You may proceed.
Oh, Google, proceed.
To bring back warfighting, if confirmed, I'm going to work with President Trump and this committee to, one, restore the warrior ethos to the Pentagon and throughout our fighting force. In doing so, we will reestablish trust in our military, addressing the recruiting crisis, the retention crisis, and readiness crisis in our ranks.
Members of the security force will remove members.
They dragging him out of there like, man. But hey, keep interrupting this motherfucker. All right, guys. So that's the three instances. It continued a little bit more. That's part of why the hearing lasted 4 hours. But here's the next moment. Senator Elizabeth Warren got in a heated exchange with Pete Hegseth. Like we all know Pete Hegseth had no experience as Secretary of Defense. Like, we all knew that Trump would put his yes men and his ball cuddlers, as Kyle Kalinske says, into his cabinet, because, you know, the first time he had people that willing to challenge him. Now he got people that willing to do whatever the fuck he wants. Like, it's open season now, motherfuckers. But wow, man, watch this exchange with Elizabeth Warren. Hold on. Why this ain't playing? Oh, here you go.
Senator Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Hegseth, thank you. Thank you for your service. So if you're confirmed as Secretary of Defense, you will oversee our military, including about 250,000 women who currently serve on active duty in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Space Forces, and the Marines.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that this man up on SA charges. I forgot about that. Damn. Yep. Yeah, this is crazy.
And I have serious concerns that your behavior toward women disqualifies you from serving in this role. Now, I've been trying to get answers from you for quite some time on this. You haven't wanted to meet or to answer any of my questions, so we'll just have to do it here and dive in. I want to pick up on some of the questions asked by Senators Shaheen and Gillibrand and Hirono, and I just want to make sure we have a list of some of the facts that I think are undisputed. I'm not going to talk about anonymous sources. I'm just going to quote you directly. We've got the video. We've got it in print. So going back to January 2013, you told a Fox News interviewer that women in the military simply couldn't measure up to men in the military, saying that allowing women to serve in combat roles would force the military to lower the bar. You picked up on that same theme in 2015, making remarks on Fox News, referring to women in combat as, quote, it would erode standards. June 2024, you said on Ben Shapiro's podcast, quote, women shouldn't be in combat at all. And then, of course, we've talked about it in 2024. You published a book, and you say on page 26 of your book, we need moms, but not in the military, especially in combat units. Page 48 of your book, you claim that women should not be in combat roles, because men are distracted by women. And then 10 weeks ago, you appeared on the Sean Ryan show and said, I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles. Now, I presume you recall making all these statements?
Senator, I'm not familiar with
They never answer the question. Like, she just asks you, did you, obviously this motherfucker gonna get confirmed. Like, Republicans go along to get along. Like the Republican Party is the party of Trump. So it's really Trump's party at this point. I'm pretty sure that one of his dinghead ass sons, or maybe his daughter might run for president. Who knows? Like just answer the fucking question. Like I just never understand why people do that. They never answer the question directly. Like they give you a loop around, a run around. Like Senator, I never couldn't hear to. Like, come on, man. Like just you're a misogynist. Like we all know you are a misogynist. Like it's a lot of people like you. Not all men are misogynists. I'm not a misogynist. Like I respect women, but some people just like some men. Just being around men that are like him. Like literally, I've been around men like him, and I just have to walk away. I'm like, man, I ain't got time to hear this shit. Oh God.
Article you're pointing to in 2013, but it underscores my argument
I've got the
completely because
video.
in that 2013 argument, I was talking about
She got a video too.
standards.
I've
Standards
got-
are what it's always
please,
been
let's
about,
not have
Senator.
this same fight again.
Always been about Senate
I've quoted
standards.
you directly. We've got the video. We're happy to show it. But I want to be clear here. For 12 years, you were quite open about your views, and your views were consistently the same. Women are inferior soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and guardians. And in case anyone missed the point, and these are your words from 10 weeks ago, women absolutely straight up should not be permitted to serve in combat. And I notice on each of these quotes, those are said without qualification. It's not by how much you can lift or how fast you can run. They don't belong in combat, period, or your words, straight up. And then on November 9th, 2024, just 32 days after your last public comment saying that women absolutely should not be in combat, you declared that, quote, some of our greatest warriors are women, and you support having them serve in combat. Now, that is a very, very big about face in a very, very short period of time. So help me understand, Mr. Hegseth, what extraordinary event happened in that 32-day period that made you change the core values you had expressed for the preceding 12 years?
I know the answer. He ain't got an answer. The guy wants to be defense secretary. That's an easy answer, right? Hell yeah! Like folks change their statement. Like, see, people say shit a long time ago, thinking that it doesn't have any precedent. Like, motherfucker, like people could like literally like go on my Twitter account and see me say something nice about the Democrats back in what 2016, 17 or some shit. Like I should delete the tweets, but again, like somebody can say, "Hey, you're not you're not what you said you are, because you said you supported Democrats back then." Like I people can change, but the problem is that I don't think he's changed at all. I think he like even to recently, like okay, back in 2013, he said women should not be serving in combat. Then now he said he changed his stance. He's wrong. Like that's different. Like I did that on Twitter. Like, but stop being part of the duopoly. But yeah, like, hey, people do anything for a job, man. Like a high role like defense secretary. Like this motherfucker has access to the Pentagon budget. Like, pretty sure more audits gonna come out saying that the money that we just wasted money we give to the fucking Pentagon is gone. We can't find it. And nothing been done about that, but somebody like like the PPP loans, like people made a big deal out of that, like what $10,000 in PPP loans. Oh, they scamming the system. But billions upon billions of dollars in the Pentagon is going, and motherfuckers quiet as a church mouse. Like I just never get that. But let me continue.
Senator, again, I very much appreciate you bringing up my comments from 2013 because for me, this issue has always been about standards. And unfortunately, because of some of the people that have been in political power for the last 4 years, priorities other than standards, lethality, and meritocracy have driven decision making.
I'm quoting you from the podcast. Women shouldn't be in combat at all. Where is the reference to standards that they should be there if they can carry, if they can run?
That man look nervous in a motherfucker. He like, oh God, she's whooping my ass. But hey, at least the Republicans, they gonna toe the line and confront me. So, damn.
I don't see that at all, Mr. Hegseth. What I see is that there's a 32-day period in which you suddenly have another description about your views of women in the military. And I just want to know what changed in the 32 days that the song you sang is not the song you come in here today to sing.
Senator, the concerns I have and the concerns that many have had, especially in ground combat units, is that in pursuit of certain percentages or quotas, standards have been changed. And that makes the combat more difficult
Let me make a
for everybody
suggestion
involved.
about what happened in
Oh God.
that 32 days. You got a nomination from President Trump. Now, I've heard of deathbed conversions, but this is the first time I've heard of a nomination conversion. And I hope you understand.
Yeah, he got a nomination. He got a nomination to be one of the highest roles in the government. Of course, like 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 a racist or some shit. Oh, I hated black folks all my life. Then they turn around and say, I love black people because I want to roll and I love black people. Yeah.
That many women serving in the military right now might think that if you can convert so rapidly your long-held and aggressively pursued views in just 32 days, that 32 days after you get confirmed, maybe you'll just reverse those views and go back to the old guy who said straight up, women do not belong in combat. Now, Mr. Hegseth, you have written that after they retire, generals should be banned from working for the defense industry for 10 years. You and I agree on the corrosive effects of the revolving door between the Pentagon and defense contractors. It's something I would have liked to talk to you about if you'd come and been willing to visit with me.
Yeah, I think it's out. I think that's cap. Yeah, it's still gonna be the same games played. Defense contractors get their contracts and control the government anymore. Like, yeah. Just like Bernie Sanders said, I'm willing to work with Elon Musk on stuff. I'm like, dude, Elon Musk is gonna loot the treasury. Like, you don't want to work with Bernie Sanders, a cook. Come on, man. These people.
But the question I have for you on this is, will you put your money where your mouth is and agree that when you leave this job, you will not work for the defense industry for 10 years?
Senator, it's not even a question I've thought about because
You can
it's
think
not
about it
one
right
that,
now.
It's not one, my motivation.
Yes, he will. Basically saying, right after this job, I'm gonna give me a job, give me a cushy position at Lockheed Martin, Honeywell, and continue to do the just do, I guess.
For this job.
I understand
has never
that. I
been
just
about
need
what
a
could
yes or no
conceivably
here.
come next.
Time is short. I just need a yes or no.
I would consult with the president about what the policy should be
In
at the Defense
other
Department.
words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You are a general, you dumb fuck. Oh my God. Dude, you are a general. A defense secretary is a general over the Pentagon. Oh my God. I'm not a general. I'm not a general, ma'am. I'm not a general. What the fuck? This is Trump's cabinet, man. Ball colors, boy.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear, in charge of the generals. So you're saying,
You'll be in charge of the generals. Yeah, I'm saying. You're in charge of the generals. You're the defense secretary. Oh, wow. Wow. Wow, this guy looks like a fucking idiot, bro. Holy shit. All these people are fucking idiots. I mean, what else? Like, what else is new? What else is new? Like, not surprising. All right, guys, let's get to the next clip. All right, guys, before I get to this next clip, be sure to hit the like button if you're on YouTube and Rumble. It helps us out in the algorithm. And also to follow my good friend, Ty Peasant, on Twitter. This is her alternate account. We are hoping and praying she get her old account back because, she was the people's account. And she did put a lot of people on Twitter. So follow her on Twitter, Lizzie Cosmos. A lot of people ask why is her name Lizzie Cosmos. It's because she likes the cosmos and her, Lizzie is her nickname. So why not? Like, I like that name. And the fun fact is, this is how I followed her. I think her other account was suspended a few years ago, did too, but I followed her on that account. I think that's how I found her. So yeah. Let's get to this, man. Like, now this is about audits. People like he gonna do the same thing that the other defense secretary did. Hell, I forgot that motherfucking name. Yeah, I know his name. I can't even think of it at the moment. Like, more people billions into the military, and then the audits come out, and we can't account for all of the money. Like, people should know where their tax dollars are going, right? Like, they audit us, though, they sometimes. Pretty sure I'm get audited this year by the IRS. I'm pretty sure. Like, they want to make sure that, I'm filing my taxes correctly and all that shit. So, yeah. Here we go, guys.
Distinguished ranking member.
Just a point of personal privilege to make a correction. The reason that General Austin required a waiver was not because of his participation in a corporate enterprise. It was because he did not have 7 years of interruption between his service and his appointment. Second point is that if any of us were appointed as Secretary of Defense, we would be subject to the same types of questions. And the case in point is Senator John Tower was nominated for Secretary of Defense. It was discovered by his colleagues that his behavior was not commensurate with the responsibilities despite his service, and he was voted down. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Duckworth, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And also, Secretary Matters had to have this waiver as well. Mr. Hegseth, this hearing is about whether you are qualified to be Secretary of Defense. And one of the qualifications, to answer my colleague's question, is to actually win the votes of every member of this committee and to be confirmed by the United States Senate. And you need to convince us that you're worthy of that vote, because the people of the state of Illinois voted for me to be their senator so that I could cast that vote when it comes to picking who is going to be the next Secretary of Defense. This hearing now seems to be a hearing about whether or not women are qualified to serve in combat, and not about whether or not you are qualified to be Secretary of Defense. And let me just say that the American people need a SecDef who's ready to lead on day one. You are not that person. Our adversaries watch closely during times of transition, and any sense that the Department of Defense that keeps us safe is being steered by someone who's wholly unprepared for the job puts America at risk, and I am not willing to do that. With that in mind, Mr. Hegseth, I want you to try to explain to the American people, this committee, who have to vote for you, and to our troops who are deployed around the world, why you are qualified to lead the Department of Defense. We already know that you've only led the largest, a 200-person organization. We already know that you so badly mangled a budget that after you left, they had to bring in a forensic accountant to figure out what went wrong. And the largest budget you ever managed was about $18 billion. You know, that is about 51,560 times lower than the Department of Defense budget of $825 billion.
Yeah, you think that he's gonna make sure the audits are correct? Oh, like I said earlier, man, like, nah. Nah, it's just gonna be the same pot of shit. You stir it. Yeah.
$16 million is 51,568 times smaller than the defense budget. Please describe to me, Mr. Hegseth, you talk about DOD passing an audit. Please describe to me a time or an organization when that you led underwent an audit, because you say you're going to hire smarter people than you to run this audit. I'm not asking you to be an accountant.
No, he's not.
I want you to be able to tell me what kind of guidance will be given to those employees, what will happen if whether or not you pass that audit. Have you led an audit of any organization? Yes or no? I don't want a long answer. Yes or no? Have you led an audit of any organization of which you were in charge?
Senator, in both of the organizations I ran, we were always completely fiscally responsible.
Yes or
with the
no?
money
Did
that
you
we
lead
had.
an audit?
And the way
Yes
my
or
leadership
Yes or no? See, Senator, what happened was me and my homeboy was at the 7-Eleven on 8th Street, and apparently he forgot his money, so we asked the cashier, "Can we have this?" Oh, come on, man. So this is guys. I want y'all to know this. If y'all don't give a damn what all the rhetoric I said, this shit is just a show, bro. Like it's a show. Like, I mean, they're rightfully calling him out on his bullshit. But again, it's like nothing's not going to get done about it. He's still going to get confirmed by the Senate. This man could, I hate to say this man could literally murk somebody in the middle of the street in Manhattan and he get away with it. Just like his buddy Trump said. So, I mean, you think he going to answer a straight question? Like, especially when when a person get challenged. Like, I'm pretty sure the Republicans that asked him questions gave him softball questions, right? Then you obviously know the demo dummies, they come at him with the hardball questions, like are you gonna manage are you gonna make sure the audits are right? So
No, did
has
you lead
been
an audit?
stated
Yes or
has
no?
been completely
What are you afraid of? You
mischaracterized.
can't answer this question. Yes or no, did you lead an audit?
damn, they cooking this man. Yeah, if you said this shit, we'll get this out quick.
Do you not know this answer?
Senator, every
Yes or
part
no?
of my leadership
Yes
of these
or no?
organizations
Yes
has
or
been
no, did you lead an audit?
misrepresented
I will
from
take
top
that as
to
a no.
bottom.
What were the findings? So there were no findings because you've never led an audit. What guidance did you give the auditors? None, because you've never led an audit. Nobody expects you to be an accountant, Mr. Hegseth. What we expect is for you to understand the complexity of this Pentagon budget process that is absolutely necessary to outfit our warfighters. Look, the Secretary of Defense is required to make quick decisions every single day with high-level information that's being provided for them. A Secretary of Defense has to have breadth and depth of knowledge. Right now, I am concerned that you have neither. Mr. Hegseth, what is the highest level of international negotiations that you have engaged in, that you have led in? Because the Secretary of Defense does lead international security negotiations. There are three main ones that the Secretary of Defense leads and signs. Can you name at least one of them?
Could you repeat the question, Senator?
Sure. What is the highest
That motherfucker scared.
level of international security agreement that you have led? And can you name some that the Secretary of Defense would lead? There's three main ones.
This man don't know this shit.
Do you know?
I have not been involved in international security arrangements because
Oh god, this is why this shit went on for 4 hours, bro. Oh my god, bro. You could have just did a Google search on this shit. Like, I'm pretty sure this man knew what these people were gonna ask him, right? These senators were gonna ask him. Like, you couldn't even fucking just pretend to know. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Oh my god. Man, this is why people are laughing at us as a country. Like, this is why every other country laughing at us, man. We're a fucking joke. This is a joke. Oh, I don't know that. Technically, see, I was in the Segway, Oh, God, bro.
I have not been in government other
Okay.
than serving in the military.
Oh.
So my job has been
So
to
no, the
lead
answer is
men and
Yeah, if you serve in the military, at least you should know a little bit, right? I guess you served in the military, right? Okay.
you
women in
name one of the
combat.
three main ones that the
You're
Secretary
talking
of
about
Defense
defense
signs.
arrangements. I mean, NATO might be one that you're referring to.
Status of Forces Agreement would be one of them.
Status of forces agreement. I've been a part of teaching
So-
about status of forces agreements.
But you don't
inside
remember to
Afghanistan.
mention it?
Why you didn't mention it, though? Man,
You're not qualified, Mr. Hegseth.
duh. Like me working in the military as a general be a sergeant. I'm not qualified because I haven't had the right skills and knowledge to do it. Same with this guy. Because you served in the military, you probably served in a minor branch of it. Like, you probably didn't like your rank. What is his rankings in the military? What his ranks? I need to know that. Like, pretty sure if you go up in ranks, you should know this shit. Like, at least, right? Oh, dear Jesus. Well, this shit is gold.
You're not
Entertainment.
qualified. You talk about repairing our defense industrial complex. You're not qualified to that. You could do acquisition and cross-servicing agreements, which essentially are security agreements. You can't even mention that. You've done none of those. You talked about the Indo-Pacific a little bit, and I'm glad that you mentioned it. Can you name the importance of at least one of the nations in the ASEAN, and what type of agreement we have with at least one of those nations? And how many nations are in ASEAN, by the way?
I couldn't tell you the exact
No, you
amount of
couldn't.
nations.
I know I'm laughing, y'all. This shit funny. I couldn't tell you that. ASEAN, that's Asian Pacific, right? Oh my God, even I know that. Japan, one of them. Damn, how many? Shit, boy, this shit.
in
Because you've
that.
not
But I
even
know we have
bothered to
allies
do-
in South Korea and Japan
Yeah.
and in AUKUS with
Oh God, he got a couple of them, right? Oh shit.
Australia, and trying to work
Okay.
on submarines with them.
Mr.
and data
Hegseth,
transfers
none
with
of those
them.
countries
We
are
have
in
allies
ASEAN.
across.
None of those three countries that you've mentioned are in ASEAN. I suggest you do a little
Oh shit. Let me ask Siri. Hey Siri, what are the countries in ASEAN? Let me see. Oh shit. You didn't get it right, but yeah, man, come on, bro. It's sad, man. Like, sorry about that, guys. It's sad, man. I'm gonna let it continue. It's
homework before you prepare for these.
yeah. Google search. Make yourself look smart. I know you're an idiot. Like most of these motherfuckers are idiots. Like they don't know shit, and they just get power because inheritance and privilege. But yeah,
Types of negotiations. Listen, Mr. Hegseth, we ask our troops to go into harm's way all the time. We ask them to go into harm's way. And this behind me is a copy of the Soldier's Creed, a copy that usually hangs over my desk here in the Senate, and you should be familiar with it. It's the same copy
yeah. Being in the military, we should be familiar with it, right? I think he don't know one word of that.
that hung over my desk at Walter Reed every single day that I woke up and fought my way back because I wanted to go back and serve next to my buddies who'd saved my life. This same copy, these words are repeated over and over and over again. And let me read out two things to you, two sentences. I will always place the mission first, and I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior task. Mr. Hegseth, our troops follow these words every single day, and they man up and they pack their rucksacks and they go to war. And they deserve a leader who can lead them, not a leader who wants to lower the standards for himself or raising the standards for other people. And by the way, our troops already meet the standards. We ask troops to man that ship, fight that fire, fly that helicopter until their very last breath. And they do that every single day. They cannot be led by someone who's not competent to do the job. How can we ask these warriors to train and perform the absolute highest standards when you are asking us to lower the standards to make you the Secretary of Defense simply because you are buddies with our president-elect? And by the way, he has filed for bankruptcy 6 times. I'm not quite sure he's the kind of CEO you want to refer to as a successful businessman. Let me make it clear. You can't seem to grasp.
This guy getting cooked. God, boy. Man, you gotta come prepared, man. You know your opposite party is gonna cook you, man. Like, even if you're a dummy asking for what he committees, I'm pretty sure Republicans can pull up shit too. So
That there is no U.S. military as we know it without the incredible women that we serve. Women who've earned their place in their unit.
all right, guys. I got one more clip for y'all, man. Like, this shit. This is wild. This is wilder than I thought. And here's the last clip of the Pete Hegseth confirmation hearing. Tim Kaine. Y'all remember Tim Kaine? He ran for Hillary Clinton. He ran as a vice presidential nominee with Hillary Clinton. So, yeah, like, everybody taking turns cooking this guy, man. I'm not surprised. Like, we all should expect for this to happen. This is why this has been all over the media circuit for the last, day or so. So, yeah, man. Like, let's see what the fuck Tim Kaine talking about, man.
Thank you, Senator Sullivan.
Thank you,
Senator
Mr.
Kaine.
Thank you, Mr. Hegseth. Looking forward to this opportunity to talk. I want to return to the incident that you referenced a minute ago that occurred in Monterey, California in October 2017. At that time, you were still married to your second wife, correct?
I believe so.
And you had just fathered a child by a woman who would later become your third wife, correct?
Senator, I was falsely charged,
Hey,
fully
you-
investigated and completely cleared.
So you think you were completely cleared because you committed no crime? That's your definition of cleared? You had just fathered a child 2 months before by a woman that was not your wife. I am shocked that you would stand here and say you're completely cleared.
That's like me getting called out by, let's say, I cheated on my wife, and I'm completely cleared of or any wrongdoing because I haven't been charged or anything. Like, that don't make any sense. You just haven't been charged yet, fool. That don't mean you completely cleared. What the fuck?
Can you so casually cheat on a second wife and cheat on the mother of a child that had been born 2 months before, and you tell us you are completely cleared? How is
Senator-
that a complete clear?
Senator, her child's name is Gwendolyn Hope Hegseth, and she's a child of God, and she's 7 years old.
And
Time
she
to go.
was,
Glad
and,
she's
and
here.
you cheated on the mother of that child less than 2 months after that daughter was born, didn't you?
Those were false charges.
Well,
It
no,
was fully investigated, and I was completely cleared. And I'm so
you've
grateful
you've
for the marriage
admitted-
I have to this.
No,
Damn. That's like, there's pictures of me robbing a bank, and I say I've been charged and I'm completely cleared. Nah, I'm probably completely cleared because maybe a mistrial or some rare occurrence like that, but don't mean I'm completely cleared. Like, they clearly got me in a bank with bags of money running out of the motherfucker. So, yeah, I'm like, you're not making any sense here. Like, that don't make any sense.
you've
woman behind me.
admitted that you had sex at that hotel in October 2017. You said it was consensual, isn't that correct?
Anything,
You've admitted that it was
Anything, man, I don't even know about that. Oh, shit.
consensual, and you were still married, and you just had a child by another woman.
again,
How do you explain your
completely
judgment?
false charges against me,
You no,
fully
wait.
investigated, and I was completely cleared.
You have admitted that you had sex while you were married to wife 2 after you just had fathered a child by wife 3. You've admitted that. Now, if it had been a sexual assault, that would be disqualifying to be Secretary of Defense, wouldn't it?
Yep.
It was a false claim then and a false claim now.
If it had been a sexual assault, that would be disqualifying to be Secretary of Defense, wouldn't it?
That was a false claim.
So
Just
you
talking
can't,
about a hypothetical.
so you can't tell me whether someone who has committed a sexual assault is disqualified from being Secretary of Defense?
Senator, I know in my instance,
Man, that's like me being interviewed for a job. I want to work for HP in Georgia. Like, I'm get interviewed for them, and they ask me questions about my experience, my college degrees, stuff like that, and I just go around like I just don't answer the question. I give them a runaround question like, I don't have the job. That just shows you there's no integrity. Like, us as working class people, we're taught that, hey, you gotta work hard, you gotta be, you gotta be dedicated, knowledgeable. But these motherfuckers in positions of high power, and they like can't even answer questions, or they don't have the experience. Like any American person in this country that works here, like, look at this shit and say, like, this is shit suspect. Like, why would you nominate a guy? Well, we know Trump is a buffoon, right? But why would you nominate a guy that cheated on his wife, misogynistic, and don't have no auditing experience? Like, that makes sense. But it doesn't matter, man.
and I'm talking about my instance only, it was a false claim.
But you acknowledge
And
you
it was
cheat, but
fully
you acknowledge
investigated.
that you cheated on your wife and that you cheated on the woman by whom you had just fathered a child. You have admitted that.
I will allow your words to speak for themselves.
You're not retracting that today. That's good. I assume that in each of your weddings, you've pledged to be faithful to your wife. You've taken an oath to do that, haven't you?
Senator, as I've acknowledged to everyone in this committee, Not a perfect person, not claiming to
But
be.
no, I just asked a simple question. You've taken things to be faithful to your wife. Is that correct?
I have failed in things in my life, and thankfully I'm redeemed by my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
In finalizing divorces,
Oh God. Oh God. See, this is why I'm not religious like I used to be. People weaponize it. Like, man, God would strike you. Man, Jesus would strike you down, man. Sit up there lying like that.
from your
Come on.
first and second wives, were there non-disclosure agreements in connection with those divorces?
Senator, not that I'm aware of.
If there were, would you agree to release those first and second wives from any confidentiality agreement?
Senator, it's not something I'm aware of.
But if there were, you would agree to release them from a confidentiality agreement?
Senator, that's not my responsibility.
Did you ever engage in any acts of physical violence against any of your wives?
Senator, absolutely not.
But you would agree with me that if someone had committed physical violence against a spouse, that would be disqualifying to serve as Secretary of Defense, correct?
Senator, absolutely not have I ever done that.
You would agree that that would be a disqualifying.
He's not saying you done that, you dumbass idiot. He's saying that would you think that if you beat your wife, that would disqualify you as Secretary of Defense? Yes. Yes. Like, he's not saying you did it. Only thing he's saying that you cheated on your wife back then. Back, like, shit. I can't believe, like, 7 years ago back then. But at the time, right? Oh, my God, bro.
Qualifying offense, would you not?
Senator, you're talking about a hypothetical.
I don't think it's a hypothetical. Violence against spouses occurs every day. And if you as a leader are not capable of saying that physical violence against a spouse should be a disqualifying fact for being secretary of the most powerful nation in the world, you're demonstrating an astonishing lack of judgment. The incident in Monterey led to a criminal charge, a criminal investigation, a private settlement, and a cash payment to the woman who filed the complaint. And there was also a non-disclosure agreement, correct?
It was a confidential settlement agreement off of a nuisance lawsuit.
Right. During an interview, you claimed that you settled the matter because you were worried that if it became public, it might hurt your career. Do you maintain that you were blackmailed?
Senator, I maintain that false claims were made against me. And ultimately,
Your attorney
those
used
false
the phrase,
claims, I have the opportunity to attest my innocence in those false claims.
But you didn't reveal any of this to President Trump or the transition team as they were considering you to be nominated for Secretary of Defense. You didn't reveal the action. You didn't reveal the criminal complaint. You didn't reveal the criminal investigation. You didn't reveal the settlement. You didn't reveal the cash payment. Why didn't you inform the commander-in-chief and the transition team of this very relevant event?
Senator, I've appreciated
Even if he did inform Trump, I don't think it made it a big deal. But, hey, he's just
appreciated every part of the process with the transition team. They have been open and honest with me. We've had great conversations between the two of us, and I appreciate the opportunity that President-elect Trump has given me.
You chose not to reveal this, right? Because you knew it would hurt your chances. So you chose not to reveal this really important thing to the commander-in-chief and the transition team because you were worried about your chances rather than trying to be candid with the future president of the United States. Are there any other important facts that you chose not to reveal to the president-elect and his team as they were considering you to be Secretary of Defense?
Senator, I sit here before you an open book, as everyone who's watched this process.
open book. That's a lie. You don't even answer the questions, bro. Just say yes or no. Like, you can't do that means your ass is guilty. Like, when people don't answer the questions, they're either complicit or they lying. Come on, man.
Multiple non-disclosure and confidentiality agreements tying the hands of many people who would like to comment to us. Much has been made of your workplace behavior as a leader of nonprofit veterans organizations and as a Fox News contributor. Were you fired from either of the leadership positions with the nonprofits?
I was the leader. I was the CEO of Concerned Veterans for America and the executive director of Vets for Freedom.
Were you fired from either
and I was
of them?
never fired from a veterans organization.
Do you have non-disclosure agreements with either of those organizations?
Not that I'm aware of, Senator.
Many of your work colleagues have said that you show up for work under the influence of alcohol or drunk. I know you've denied that, but you would agree with me, right, that if that was the case, that would be disqualifying for.
Oh yeah, this is the same guy that was drunk and saying that he don't like Muslims. Oh my God. Damn, this shit just not coming in my head. Like, yeah, he has an alcohol problem. He's misogynist. He's a liar. He cheated on his wife. Like, wow. Man, like, I don't like Barack Obama for a lot of reasons, but imagine if Barack Obama was running for president and he had all that shit against him. I don't think he'd be commander-in-chief for 8 years. Don't you think so? I don't think so. See, that's why I say about in terms of privilege in this country. Like, for black folks in particular, our standards have to be above, like we have to be this perfect, articulate, smart person, while, white folks sometimes can be like, do shit like that and still become the defense secretary of generals in this country. Which is still a high position. Like, I think he's fourth or fifth in the, down the list of to be president, like in case of anything happened. Like, it's crazy.
Somebody to be Secretary of Defense.
Senator, those are all anonymous false claims, and the totality.
They're not anonymous.
The letters
We've
on the
seen-
record here.
They're not anonymous.
On the record, people
We've
who've
seen
worked me
records with
at
names
Vets for
attached to
Freedom,
them.
Concerned Vets for America, and Fox News
One of
attributing
your-
to me
one of your
being
colleagues
working
said-
hard every day on behalf of
One of
my
your
mission.
colleagues said that you got drunk at an event at a bar and chanted, "Kill all Muslims." Another colleague, not
Yep, unalive all Muslims. Yeah, I said hate on them. Yeah.
anonymous, we have this, said that you took coworkers to a strip club. You were drunk. You tried to dance with strippers. You had to be held off the stage. And one of your employees in that
Look at his face, bro. Look at his face, bro. It's perfect, man. This is perfect. Like, yeah, when people do that, they guilty in a motherfucker, man. Holy shit. Oh man. Yeah, like that's crazy. That's wild, bro. Oh my God, bro. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, man. That's wild. Yeah, that's gonna be the thumbnail. Yeah, that has to be the thumbnail, man. That has to be the thumbnail. Yeah. Holy crap. Let me continue. Hold on. Man, let me do it.
event filed a sexual harassment charge as a result of it. Now, I know you deny these things, but isn't that the kind of behavior that, if true, would be disqualifying for somebody to be Secretary of Defense?
Senator, anonymous false charges.
They're not anonymous. And I'll just conclude and say this to the chairman. You claim that this was all anonymous. We have seen records with names attached to all of these, including the name of your own mother. So don't make this into some anonymous press thing. We have seen multiple names of colleagues consistently throughout your career that have talked about your abusive actions.
Chairman, I think he's
words,
over
and
his time.
statements.
He's way over his time.
I now yield.
And thank you very much.
All right, guys. So yeah, wow. This man got cooked. He got dragged through the mud like a motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie.